read from Living Sober. Sam's going to put a link up to what what we're going to read today. And he's going to put a hot link up to it. What is it, Sam? There, let's see if it's up
That's it.
there.
Living sober.
Oh, there it is right there. Okay, good.
Eliminating self-pity, page 54.
Okay, I got it. I see it. Okay, it's Eliminating Self-Pity, page 54 to 57. There's a link to it right there. And uh, hey, Rebecca, you want to start reading? Go ahead. And raise your hand in down here if you guys have the book and you want to read. And go ahead and read like a page or half a page, starting with 54.
Thanks, Jann Dog. Taking it away. Chapter 22, Eliminating Self-Pity. This emotion is so ugly that no one in his or her right mind wants to admit feeling it. Even when sober, many of us remain clever at hiding from ourselves the fact that we are in a mess of self-pity. We do not like at all being told that it shows, and we are quick to argue that we are experiencing some other emotion. Not that loathsome poor is a me, or we can in a second find a baker's dozen of perfectly legitimate reasons for feeling somewhat sorry for ourselves. Hanging over us long after detoxification is the comfortably familiar feeling of suffering. Self-pity is an enticing swamp. Sinking into it takes so much less effort than hope or faith, or just plain moving. Alcoholics are not unique in this. Everyone who can recall a childhood pain or illness can probably remember too the relief of crying over how bad we felt, and the somewhat perverse satisfaction of rejecting all comforting. Almost any human being at times can deeply empathize with the childish whine of, leave me alone. One form of self-pity takes in some of us when we first get sober is, poor me, why can't I drink like everybody else? Everybody? Why does this happen to me? Why do I have to be an alcoholic? Why me? Such thinking is a great ticket to a bar room, but that's about all. Crying over the unanswerable question is like weeping because we were born in this era, not another, or on this planet, rather than in some other galaxy.
Stop right there. And let's go right over to, oh, go ahead, Allison, pick it up from there.
All right, I'm Allison. I'm an alcoholic. Okay, of course, it isn't just me at all. We discover when we begin to meet recovered alcoholics from all over the world. Later on, we realize we have begun to make our peace with that question. When we really hit our stride in enjoyable recovery, we may either find an answer or simply lose interest in the search. You'll know when that happens to you. Many of us believe we have figured out the likely reasons for alcoholism, but even if we haven't, there remains the much more important need to accept the fact that we cannot drink and to act on it. Sitting in our own pool of tears is not a very effective action. Some people show real zeal for pressing salt into their own wounds. A ferocious proficiency at that useless game often survives from our drinking days. We can also display a weird flair for expanding a minor annoyance into a whole universe of gloom. When the mail brings a whopping phone bill, just one, we bemoan our constantly being in debt and that we never could and never will do anything right. When the new car arrives, we say to somebody, with my luck, it'll be if you finished that statement with the name of a sour citrus, you're in our club. It's as if we carried on our back a large duffel bag stuffed with unpleasant memories, such as childhood hurts and rejections. 20, even 40 years later, there occurs a small setback, only slightly similar to an old one in the bag.
Okay, stop right there. If you would, go ahead, Joe, you're up. Thank you for reading.
Okay. Oh, I apologize. I'm reading online and I lost my place to unmute. So
that's why we don't like you to read online. We want you to spend
okay.
want you to spend your 6-pack of beer money and get the books. It says this is our cue to sit down.
This is on my list of presents that my boyfriend says is coming in the
No
mail.
talking about boyfriends. You know that. This is our cue to sit down.
Okay.
You see it?
Oh, no, I don't see it. I'm
Page
sorry.
56 is the second sentence.
Oh, I have the
Okay,
the
you're a
flip.
lot of fun. No, listen, you're really a lot of fun. But not right now. Okay, go ahead. Aaron.
Aaron, alcoholic. This is our cue to sit down, unshoulder the bag, and pull out the lovingly caress one at a time every old hurt and put down of the past. With total emotional recall, we then relieve each of them vividly, flushing with shame at childhood embarrassments, grinding our teeth on old angers, rewording old quarrels, shivering with nearly forgotten fear, or maybe blinking away a tear or two over a long gone disappointment in love. Those are fairly extreme cases of unadulterated self-pity, but not beyond recognition by anybody who has ever had, seen, or wanted to go on a crying jag. Its essence is a total self-absorption. We can get so stridently concerned about me that we lose touch with virtually everyone else. It is not easy to put up with anyone who acts that way, except a sick infant. So when we get into the poor me bog, we try to hide it, particularly from ourselves, but that's no way to get out of it. Instead, we need to pull out of our self-absorption, stand back and take a good, honest look at ourselves. Once we recognize self-pity for what it is, we can start to do something about it other than drink.
Stop
Friends
right
can
there. Okay, and boy, does this ring a bell with anybody? I was the most self-pitying person you ever knew. I mean, you wouldn't know by seeing me today, but I could be so I would be self-absorbed, Rebecca, for years. I would go on, I would obsess over you, say, for 5 years, and then after that, I'd switch to Lori, and I'd obsess over her. And then if I didn't have anybody else to obsess over, I would just like, blow the house up and obsess over that. No, I'm kidding. I never really blew the house up. But okay, who else has their hand up here? Oh, go, Lori, you do. Go ahead. Thanks for reading Incidents.
Friends can be a great help if they're close enough that we can talk openly with each other. They can hear the false note in our song of sorrow and call us on it. Or we ourselves may hear it. We begin to get our true feelings sorted out by the simple means of expressing them aloud. Another excellent weapon is humor. Some of the biggest belly laughs at AA meetings erupt when a member describes his or her own latest orgy of self-pity, and we listeners find ourselves looking into a funhouse mirror. There we are, grown men and women tangled up in the emotional diaper of an infant. It may be a shock, but the shared laughter takes a lot of the pain out of it, and the final effect is salutary. When we catch self-pity starting, we can also take action against it with instant bookkeeping. For every entry of misery on the debit side, we find a blessing we can mark on the credit side. What health we have, what illnesses we don't have, what friends we have loved, the sunny weather, a good meal a coming, limbs intact, kindness shown and received, a sober 24 hours, a good hour's work, a good book to read, and many other items can be totaled up to outbalance the debit entries that cause self-pity. We can use the same methods to combat the holiday blues, which are sung not only by alcoholics. Christmas and New Year's birthdays and anniversaries throw many other people into the morass of self-pity. In AA, we can learn to recognize the old inclination to concentrate on nostalgic sadness or to keep up a litany of who is gone, who neglects us, and how we can give in comparison to rich people. Instead, we add up the other side of the ledger in gratitude for health, for loved ones who are around, and for our ability to give love now that we live in sobriety. And again, the balance comes out on the credit side.
All right. Hey, thank you for reading. You know, the thing that they don't really get to here is that this form of obsessing over things that we don't have, or people that we've lost, or situations that we've lost. It's I like to call it part of our um, compulsive obsessive continuum. Some people have described alcoholism as a compulsive obsessive disorder with an addiction to alcohol. So we take away the alcohol, but then we're still like obsessed. And one of the things I noticed like happened to me when I was about 17, I was just obsessed with, whatever was wrong. First, it was my family that was wrong. My father was wrong. And then if I had a girlfriend and we broke up, I would obsess over that lost love until I would get the next girlfriend, who would replace it. And then I would have, mute yourself, Lori. Then I would have, obsession over that person. And then that, I don't know if anybody else has had that here, but it would go on for like 5 years per person. And then I would have, let's say, a job, okay? And I would lose the job, and then I would obsess over the loss of that job until I got the next job. And then I would lose that, and I would obsess over that, what they did to me, what was wrong. So it's really quite a condition, here he, they're almost like blaming us for this, but it's part of the illness. It's part of the disease. Anybody else have that where you were like obsessed all the time? Raise your hand in if in this thing here. I'm not going to call on you, but raise your hand if you've had a compulsive. Well, Joe, we know you have. No, I'm joking. That's funny. Uh, Compulsive obsessive disorder. You know, oh God, the whole room's raising its hand. So the only thing that I've been able to do to resolve that is, when it starts up in the morning, I will then turn to God and then picture that person. I will pray for them and I will ask God to take care of that person. And then I'll go to the next person. I'm going to pray for them. And then the next person. And anybody that I've had anything going on with, any slight, and they start popping into my brain, I just hand them over to God. And do you know what happens? Is that God resolves them if I do it on a daily basis. Anybody else here doing that? You pray for people like right away in the morning, when they pop up. Okay, so let's call on all of you. So Aaron, where you had your hand up first, do you do that? You pray for people that you obsess on?
Yes, and I'm currently doing that. It's actually in the big book, page 552. When you have a resentment, it's suggested that you pray for them for 2 weeks for everything that you want for yourself. You pray for that person that you have the resentment towards. And I
Yeah.
currently have a resentment towards my old coworker, and I've been doing that every day for about 11 days.
All right. How about you, Sam? Do you have people that pop into your brain that you need to pray for?
Yes, often actually. When it comes to resentment, it's usually my father, who
Hmm.
I attribute to my drinking problem. Um, he always was a very successful man, actually. I considered him a functioning alcoholic, and I became a functioning alcoholic. I'm trying to end that at my level, obviously, but I do pray for him whenever he
So
comes into mind.
when you pray for him, does the obsession disappear in that moment?
In that moment, yes,
Okay, and
yes,
it
it
comes
does.
back when later in the next space?
Later on, it can be such a like subtle thing, something that reminds me of my childhood, something that reminds me of, an interaction with them, going to like a baseball game, football game, etc.
Yeah.
And at that moment I stop my mind and I immediately go to my higher power and I pray that,
Yeah,
this is not
that
happening.
seems to be the resolution that we have. Okay, how about you, Rebecca?
Oh, yes, completely. It works. That praying for the person, every night for 30 days really does work. I never thought of it in the terms of self-pity, but when you talked about self-pity and the book talks about self-pity, exactly right on. it was part of also the resentment list, and I never actually thought of self-pity, but
So some of us can really come up with these
yeah.
great obsessions, and I would nurture them forever. And it was
Yeah.
only until I turned them over to God and say, God, you take care of this person. If I have to do that consciously, daily. How about you, Lori?
I've had a lot of loss over the last 7 years. And I found myself just sitting here feeling sorry for myself. And it took a long time for me to get brave enough to come to a meeting. And this is where I landed. And so thanks.
You have compulsive obsessive thoughts?
Oh yeah. Um,
What do you do with them?
I have to pray. I don't have like resentment thoughts. I have compulsive thoughts though.
Yeah.
That are scary. And I pray every night that I don't wake up with that in my brain. And it's helping. I'm not doing it every.
God, God resolved these for me and resolves them on a regular basis. But if I don't say, Lord, here, I'm going to put this person in your hands. I know that you can take care of them, and then it disappears. I just refused to do that for years. Joe, you're looking, or rather not Joe, but Allison, you're looking close to the camera. Have you had that too?
Yes, definitely I can relate. It's all, I mean, it's all very relatable. And I think talking about it, talking about those resentments too, and not just like trying to hold it inside, and like doing the prayer by myself, but also sharing it with another alcoholic helps to support that growth.
Do you have like a person or a list of people that they just pop into your mind and then you have to turn them over to God, otherwise they'll drive you crazy all day?
Um, not currently, not, not currently. I feel really lucky about that, but usually with it, it tends to happen with my business, and having employees, and so, um, yeah, that's when I'll start the obsession.
Oh yeah. I am so lucky. I've had businesses my whole life, but over the past 20 years, I've had employees. I was the luckiest person in the world. I had the best employees. And somehow I was able to compartmentalize my insanity so that I didn't push it over on them. But then I would pick people, friends, Jeff, that I would act out insanely on, usually AAs. So that there was two Janns. Jann that ran the company that everybody thought was nice, and then Jann that would go to AA meetings and people thought, what a fucking jerk he is.
Yeah, Jeff, alcoholic, South Florida. I'm loving this because we're, different from you. I had a total love affair with alcohol at age 17, so I really wasn't worried about some of these other things. And I knew I had to make money to support that habit, and so I was enough of a chameleon to always be employed. I total split, but it worked for a long time. As far as resentments, I'm lucky. I got a real situation which the higher power and the program and the steps allow me to just kind of laugh at. We might be thrown out any day. We're in the news every day, and the money disappears. We're in the news. We're told we could be out any day. If we are, we are. I'm lucky to
If you
get this
pray,
far.
if you pray for them and hand them to God, won't God like resolve that situation?
Yes, he does. It goes away. What are you worried about? I'm in charge. You've done have you done everything you're supposed to do for? Yes. Well, then what
I've
are you
had
worried about?
God,
Yeah.
when I turn things over to God sometimes,
Yep.
I've had him create miracles, real miracles
Yes.
in an
Yes.
impossible
Yes.
situation. But the
Yes.
problem is I won't take it to God because I so it's like I think it's endemic with alcoholics and others too. I refuse to get out of the way. I
Yes.
must be in the way. And you know what
Yes.
happens when I get in the way and stay there?
Yes.
Nothing gets resolved.
Jeff alcoholic, but we've been trained on this earth to get in the way and solve the problem, ask for the order, this all is just malarkey. We learn that the program and the steps has us turn it over, and that's the way life is supposed to be. We just never knew that.
Yeah, this is the crux. I think this is the crux of our problem. And when we pick
Mhm.
people and things to obsess on, I mean, look at social media. It's one giant obsession board over everything. We will find something wrong with everything all the time,
Yeah.
24/7, until we go completely mad and we have to go to Ron's hospital. How about you, Ron? Go ahead.
I'm Ron, I'm alcoholic. Really, what I've been doing lately, it's not as bad about resentments as it is being full of self-pity. And I really just have to stop and do a short gratitude list in my mind or on paper at that time. And really is as bad as I think circumstances are currently for me. I really have so much to be thankful for. Number one, I'm sober today, so I got a chance at anything going right.
Well,
And
I have a question for you. One example of something you have self-pity over. What is it?
oh, poor me, why did I get pulled over and get a DUI? And why did the judge take my license? Why won't they just let
Okay, no, if you stop with that right there and say, okay, God, here's my obsession. I cannot deal with this. I'm going to hand the judge over to you right now because I know you can take care of him.
Yep. Yep.
I'm going to hand over my DUI in the court to you, and I'm, going to let you handle it. Have you tried that?
Right.
I've been, yes,
That
I've
right
tried
there.
to well, no, I have handed it over to him and tried to quit it because I really haven't been
Well,
obsessed
don't
about it.
try to quit obsessing. Just say, Lord, I'm going to hand the
Get
judge
over to you.
this obsession over to
Over
you
to you.
right now. And I know
No,
you
I will do that.
do that with every single one of them. I'm going to hand it to you. Visualize you putting it in God's hands, and then He takes care of it. That's the miracle. I think that's the miracle.
Oh
That
no, miracles have already happened because I've gotten it. That's what I need to be grateful for rather than wallowing in self-pity. I wouldn't be in this room I wouldn't be sober
I
today had I
I
not gotten it.
I
Number
I no, yeah, I get it.
one.
We're talking deep stuff here.
No,
Uh,
I firmly believe that if you believe and really give it over to God, yes, miracles do happen and
it's
will happen.
amazing when he does it and resolves it. You're like, son of a bitch, that's gone. I can't believe it. And I've been hanging on to this for so long. What the hell is? Okay, go ahead, Andrea.
Hi, Andrea, alcoholic. Yeah, my parents both have cancer, and I had resentment against my mom. Um, and it's coming back. It's more of it's a hold on since I was little. We never got along really good, like a mother and daughter, as what I wanted to be, and um. I think
So
that
now you have to turn her over. Do you do that? Are you turning
I
her over
work
to God right now?
through it. I work through it, and it comes up now and again. And I don't text her and talk to her every day I like we used to. And I think it's gonna be easier to let go. It's like I'm just waiting.
Do you hand her over to God?
I do. I
There you go.
do.
Listen, that's what you do. That's what we're talking about. In the
Yeah.
moment, you turn it over, you visualize your mom and God and hand over to her. Let's go to Joe. Go, Joe. You're next. You had your hand up, right? Obsessive compulsive thinking. Do you have that over anyone, anybody?
Okay, I just got unmuted. I do have obsessive thoughts over people, but mostly it's over things.
Like what? One thing.
Well, I'm currently awaiting a hearing over a DUI.
Oh yeah, so just like Ron, you have to pray for the judge.
Yeah. something like
Do you put the judge in God's hands?
I have not attempted to do so.
That's your assignment. Now do it. Every time the judge or your DUI comes up, you say, God, I'm putting the judge and my DUI in your hands.
Okay.
And I know that you can resolve this. Even if you don't believe it, you do it anyways. Like your boyfriend. You know, Lord, I'm putting my boyfriend in your hands because
Oh,
I
that'd be
completely
a
obsess
handful.
I completely obsess over him and bring him into the AA meeting all the time. And then Jan yells at me. All right, beautiful. All right, get that. This is good. Well, you guys are the best. What a great meeting this is. Holy crap. We're talking about my number one go-to in terms of character defects. Let's obsess over someone or something and completely ruin my day. I get up, my day's going great, the sun's out, and then these thoughts come in. That person comes in, this person, blah, blah, next person, blah, then a whole group of them, blah, 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 blah. And I'm obsessing, and my day is ruined, ruined. I'll turn on Fox News, that'll fix everything. Now my day's completely ruined even more. And they're doing what? An airplane crashed where? The weather is what? Who's president? What the hell happened over here? Jesus. It's a wonder we drink. Um, I mean, we quit now, but it's like, let's see, let's keep moving on here too. So, hey, Tiffany, how are you enjoying today's meeting? Come on and talk to me.
Great. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great. I was gonna just raise my hand too because my obsession is always over my kids, and like I think they're the two people that I worry about the most, and also that have they're the most disappointed in me. And I will obsess over that, but you realize like that's one thing I really had to learn about my alcohol is it's a depressant. So it does make me like if after a week-long bender, you end up depressed because it's a depressant, and I end up beating myself up
Here's
over
here's the
like
here's the thing. Let me
yeah.
ask you a couple questions.
Sure.
Have you been to AA before?
Oh yeah.
And so what happened now when are you constantly relapsing or have you ever been sober
No, I had a sober date of July 21st
of this year?
of last year.
Okay. And is that when
Yeah.
you first started coming to AA?
Um, uh, like consistently, yes.
So here's the deal. This meeting, Newcomers Slipper Step Workshop. So this is a place where you can actually get sober. If you come here. My suggestion is come for 5 days and we can help you out. One of the things that I did, I ran the Alcohol Recovery Center here in Boulder for a year. I ran the night shift for a year, got trained in all of this. So we asked people like yourself, like, how you're doing, because we have so many people that come here every day who are
Right.
detoxing. And how much have you been drinking? How much do you drink a day when you're drinking?
When I was drinking, I would normally get um like a 6 pack and then like 3 or 4 shooters. That's like my little
That's your thing, yeah.
Mhm.
So, and then are you just finished through the detox now? How are you feeling? 5 days, usually you should have all the alcohol out, close to it.
I feel fine, but
Have you checked your
it's
blood pressure?
I I haven't checked my blood pressure.
Do you have a blood pressure cuff?
I don't.
You might get one. Listen, do you have a primary care physician?
I do. Yeah.
Have you checked in with that person and told them that you're quitting drinking and
Mhm.
you have? So I always advocate, we like to advocate in here that you make sure you connect with your doctor and if need be, get a medical detox even. Because detoxes can be devastating. People have strokes, heart attacks, aneurysms, all kinds of things go wrong. Uh,
Right.
so,
Right.
what did your doctor say?
Um, my doctor, first of all, I'm she hooked me up with a therapist. So that's going to be a good thing.
What about anything to help you detox? Like there's naltrexone is one thing.
She
Sometimes they'll
gave me,
give you blood pressure
yes,
medication.
she
Do you know
gave
what your
me,
blood pressure is? Go ahead.
it, my blood pressure was fine when I went in on Friday. And I think I contribute that to working out and,
You have to be
but
careful. Be careful. Plenty of people that work out fall over. How old are you now?
51.
51. So you're a
Mhm.
prime candidate for having something catastrophic happening and continuing drinking. When you're in your 20s, early 30s, less so, but by the time you hit 40 and 50, you're on, you're walking the tightrope of death. And women, alcoholics in their 50s, have even more catastrophic events than men. So I would be very close to my doctor. Make sure you check your blood pressure and even have something to help you through the first 30 days. So,
She gave me, hold on, Atarax.
yeah, okay, what is that? Do you know what that is?
I think
Do
the
you know what, do you
generic,
know what that is, Aaron? What's Atarax?
it's a non-habit forming
I always say.
anxiety medicine. It's called hydroxyzine,
Hydro
HCl.
hydroxyzine is yes, I do. Hydroxyzine or Atarax is Benadryl.
And
It's an
Benadryl is,
antihistamine. Antihistamine.
and what is that?
It helps with
Oh, sorry.
anxiety. So like you've heard of Benadryl, right? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it helps with anxiety. I take it as well. Hydroxyzine.
Oh, do you really? Okay.
Yep.
Do you
And
find it that
Okay.
it
Well,
helps?
anyways,
yes, I do. It really
stay
helps.
close to your doctor and come here for 5 days if you want to, and we can take you through the whole program. Um, most people never come back to this meeting. It's a benzo. That's what I thought. Who put that up? Missy. Where the hell's Missy? Who is Missy? Okay. Lost in the ozone. Where else are we here? Excuse me. Okay. Oh, hey, Missy. Hi, how's it? Oh, Missy. That's right. Missy's in Australia. And you're a trauma nurse. How's
Yeah,
it going?
no. Lee had it's
How
I live
long are
in
you
Hong
sober now?
Kong in Australia. Pardon?
How long are you sober now?
3.5 weeks now.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
Missy, Australia, 3.5 weeks.
Yeah. Sorry, me sister. Yeah, it's good to see you with your warm hat on. It's summer here. Look, you look Santa Christmas. With your hat on.
It's funny. I'm funny
Yeah.
how? Funny haha? Funny I make you laugh? Funny I
Yeah.
amuse? Funny I
Oh, it's
amuse?
in a cap. Oh, do you do a cap? Sorry, you didn't see it. Oh, the
The
background.
cat is
Yeah, it's
in the
good to see
background.
everyone. Oh, the cat's here too. Yep. Okay.
She's sleeping. Change her name.
Hey,
3.5
Jeff.
weeks,
Oh, here we go.
Australia.
I'm going to change Wallaby Creek.
Fix that.
There's
Well,
somebody.
good to see you.
Good to
So are you
see you,
getting
mate.
ready to go to, is it Monday morning in Australia? Are you getting ready to go to work?
No, next day, Chief. It's my, yeah.
Oh, your day off?
No, yeah.
Well, glad you're here. Welcome aboard. And
Yeah. I've sent the people in as well to,
that's what I thought it was
Jann.
like. I thought it was like Valium. So that's like, it's not
Yeah,
so much.
benzo, anything ending zine is like, sorry, Earl, I'm a trying
It's
doctor.
not so much an
Yeah,
antihistamine.
anything een is some sort of benzo, Jan Doug, which is
Yeah.
like a sedative, like calms people your ends.
Slightly addictive. I was addicted to Valium and
Yeah, can
Quaaludes,
be, yeah.
and I don't take anything like that anymore. But when you're early on in detox, they can be helpful. But to keep them,
Yeah, it's people sick as well, Jan, like, you know, or in a trauma center, like,
Sam, would
people
you
need
change
it.
her name, please?
Some
No,
people need it, you know. Oh, here we go.
Australia, 2.5 weeks. All right.
3.5.
What's that? 3?
3.5.
Oh, 3. Okay.
I'm
All
like,
right.
can
Glad you're here. Chris, did we talk to Krista in Texas? I can't tell. Did I? Shake your head yes or no. That's a no. Okay, good. Hey, Krista, how are you enjoying today's meeting?
It's very much on point, actually. I've been in self-pity quite a bit.
You know, and it makes sense too when you're first getting sober. You know, it's like they really wrote that for you. Here, have you been to AA before?
Oh, yeah. I've been to inpatient treatment twice, completed IOP. I've been at this about a year and a half.
Have you ever have you ever had a sponsor and worked the steps and all of that?
Yeah, I do.
You did?
I
3
do.
days. Well, you have
Yeah.
3 days sober, you're drinking.
Yeah,
So what do you go to in-person meetings?
I do.
And so what's happening? Why do you keep slipping?
I wish I had the answer to that. I don't know. The best I can determine is,
Oh, I have a
um,
question for you. So
sure.
did you say you're actually working, you have a sponsor right now?
That's correct.
And does you have you working the steps?
Yes.
Where are you?
I'm finishing up 4 again.
Well, now you're back on 1 because
Yeah.
how long was your last relapse?
It was just a day, but it was a hard one.
Well, here's the deal. You are welcome to come here if you want to. We're a newcomers slipper step workshop. But my recommendation to you is come for 5 days. See how you like it, and we can help you and put you to work. Most people never come back to this meeting. They just continue on their merry way and drink themselves to death. But there are the few, the proud, and what are they? And then the Marines, right? They keep coming here. Sam, that's good.
That is correct.
Uh,
A title that's earned, never given.
let's see, where the hell? Oh, Harry Berto. How many days are you sober now, Harry Berto?
I believe 140.
Change his, please. He's in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
140 days. Okay.
Turn this light.
All right. You missed the part on self-pity. Too bad, because it was a really good read.
Oh, yeah.
Go
Well,
up
I
here
heard
on
he's really
time.
talking about.
Tell your brother to leave you alone on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so you can come.
Yeah, I had to help him today again. So
No, tell him not on the days of the meeting.
it's because he works all day during the week too. So that's usually on the weekends is the only time he has free. So, and I have to help him because not only do I feel bad, but he gives me somewhere to live and stuff. So I mean,
Yeah. Okay. Oh, really? Does he pay
yeah,
the rent? Yeah.
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 So that's kind of why I help him.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Hey, listen. Glad you're here.
Thanks.
And Christy, where is she? This is Andrea. She there? Oh, there she. Oh, we fixed it. Okay, you're there. You're good. Okay, did we get to everybody? Close. Naaman, how about you? Anything in the self-pity, obsessive compulsive disorder,
Oh,
drinking arena?
yeah, today's a good day for it. I'm sick, so I'm obsessing on that.
Mm.
And then on who came to the party and was very inconsiderate since we did that step 4 sheet and stuff. I've noticed more, how other people act that are still, kind of in those ways.
Oh, in writing on your 4th step you're talking about?
Yeah, and then like Joe and Ron, I obsess over not having a driver's license and some stuff like that. I perseverate on that. I wake up and I'm like, geez, this really sucks. I can't even support myself. I'm just stuck out here in the middle of nowhere. So I'm gonna try that.
Well, how do you get to work? How do you get to work? Because you have a plumbing business, right? Do you have a truck?
Oh yeah, I have.
Who drives the truck? Who drives the truck?
My aunt does, and she doesn't drive when it's like inclement weather or anything,
Yeah.
or it's a big box truck. And
Oh yeah.
we're
And so when you go to the job, what does she do? Just sit in the truck, keep the heater on, and read, or what?
so we shut down for winter for the most part. She hangs out and sits in the truck and smokes cigarettes, and I feel terrible, that she has to like spend so much time doing that. I actually came to Michigan to help her take care of my grandpa, and
Yeah.
then now here she is 3 years later, kind of taking care of me, or I guess 5 years now. But yeah, so I'm planning on trying to do that. The judge thing. Pray for the judge and the Secretary of State. Like I've been behaving and doing everything they've asked me in my orders, and it's a tough state to get back on track with. So and it's not just me. So I just have to learn to accept that. And the gratitude thing really helps me. I can't remember who was saying that earlier. But being, having the gratitude rather than, perseverating on the self-pity, is that seems to be what's actually helped me get through. And then these meetings, because like the first 2 years, I'm just like, just all right, I'm not drinking. What else am I supposed to do? Like why can't
Oh
I?
yeah. These meetings keep you very busy and working through the steps, right?
Yeah, definitely the best. And then also mentally, so you're not perseverating on being alone and stuff all the time. So
All right,
yeah.
cool. Glad you're here. Hang in there, man. So we're gonna get to more stuff tomorrow. Did we get to everybody in here? We didn't get to Tika. Hey, Tika, how about you? Any of this obsession, compulsive, worrying stuff going with you? All right, Aaron, are you still here? Or did she go? I don't see her. Did she leave, Sam? Do you see her? Sam.
No, she left.
She left. I don't see her. I was looking through the
Okay.
list.
Oh, good. Hey, Rebecca, you want to read the promises?
Sure, happy to. Rebecca Alcoholic. The promises. If we are painstaking about this phase of our development, we will be amazed before we are halfway through. We are going to know a new freedom and a new happiness. We will not regret the past, nor wish to shut the door on it. We will comprehend the word serenity, and we will know peace. No matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our experience can benefit others. That feeling of uselessness and self-pity will disappear. We will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows. Self-seeking will slip away. Our whole attitude and outlook on life will change. Fear of people and economic insecurity will leave us. We will intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. We will suddenly realize that God is doing for us what we could not do for ourselves. Are these extravagant promises?
Yeah, this is